Let's talk about Predator. So, Predator Killer of Killers is something that I believe is now out on digital. I believe that's also out on Hulu. So you can check it out if you want to. And what this is, just to kind of give you a brief synopsis about it, it's three separate stories. It's a anthology story. You have one story about a Viking, you have another story, and they take place in different time periods, about samurai and ninja, and the last one is about a World War One or World War II fighter pilot. So you have these three stories in this animated film, because it is one big film, and that's the basic premise. And obviously, you got a predator you got to deal with. So let's start off first off, with what I thought was good in the story. I think first and foremost, you got to talk about the violence. I mean, oh my God, the violence was so great. I thought that the fighting choreography was done so well in this movie. It was so fantastic to see. I thought they really took advantage of the fact that it was animation, and there were certain things that you can do in this movie with that. Like this scene right here, man, this was so good with the Vikings. This was like some Game of Thrones 300 type of stuff. It was fantastic. I also think that the cinematography that they used was really good. You had some scenes here, like in the airplane sequence. I thought the cinematography was amazing. Just the way that they would actually do some of the camera angles to kind of keep things high paced, high octane. Just even going in the cockpit view, I thought those were really done well. I think the one thing that I enjoyed a lot also was the storytelling was pretty. It What it did was it made me care about each character. Every time you got into one of the characters and their backgrounds and their stories, they kept them separate, but they made them to the point where you started to relate and really understand and connect with the characters individually. So you really do get a sense of attachment with each one. I also really liked the overall story arc. I like how they made these three stories feel separate, but they all kind of contribute to the bigger Predator story, like the bigger Predator mythos. By the way, you stay for that mid-credit scene. I mean, it's not long. It's right after the credits, but that mid-credit scene, that to me was something that I was like, oh, if you're a Predator fan, they put that in there for you, right? They did that for you. So I love what they did with that. I think that what's also interesting, kind of going back to the characters, what I liked also was that nothing was kind of given to them. Like everything felt earned with them in the sense that the stakes are high, right? They don't make anything easy for any of the characters like that. And I really thought that worked out very well. I like the Easter eggs that they threw throughout the story with the characters as well. I thought that they did a very good job with that. And here's the other thing, of course, it's called Predator, right? The Predators are a problem. The Predator is a problem, and I think that they did because there's three different Predators in each story. They did the Predators so much justice. You get unique Predators. I love the weapons that they use for the Predators. Everyone had like a different unique weapon that they would use against, the warriors. And I think what worked the best is the fact that not only did they make them unique, they made the Predators very terrifying, right? But they made them not the central point. So each story is about the character, and the Predator just so happens to be there. And I thought that was brilliant, right? It's not like, let's only pay attention to the Predator. No, you pay attention to the humans, you pay attention to their story. That's what matters. And oh, by the way, there is a Predator running around that we got to deal with. Of course, my absolute favorite, because I can't get off the story. Y'all, they had us with the ninjas, okay? They had me with the ninjas. The ninja samurai story, easily, by far, the best if you've watched my channel, you know, ever since Prey came out, I have been preaching and saying you never can go wrong with ninjas. But I talked about how when the fans online started saying, oh, we should have samurais versus Predator, I was like, no. The way a samurai fights versus a Predator, it's not evenly matched. It's not good enough. You got to have a ninja. And this movie did it perfectly. Like, this movie did what I wanted. You gave me the samurai, you gave me the ninja, you gave me amazing fight sequences. On point, absolute favorite. Will, like, I just love that so much. So you have those components. If I had to say one thing that was maybe a little bad, it might have been with one of the human stories, probably my man Torres here. Like, there were just some moments that felt a little rushed and a little too convenient. Okay, like, I'm not gonna go specific, but it also had to do with the air scenes. You know, again, they were nice little battle and stuff, but there were a couple times I was like, come on, man. Ain't nobody finna do this crazy Tom Cruise stunt right now. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It was a little bit like, come on now, like you're doing a little lot. You're doing a lot right now. You're doing a lot. It was real extra. Anyway, with all that said, let me just talk about overall, like, the reason. I think Predator, Killer of Killers, it's making a great argument for being one of the best installments in the Predator franchise. Like I said, the Ninja Samurai story, it was everything I could have hoped and dreamed of. The only thing that probably could have made this better would have been if it was like a full standalone live action movie. This was easily the bloodiest Predator movie, the goriest, the most violent that they've ever had. It is absolutely a must watch for Predator fans. And I think the biggest problem is that there isn't a sequel right now, because I need a sequel right now. So when it comes to the rating for Predator, Killer of Killers, I've got to give this a 9 out of 10. I thought that this was everything Predator fans like and that they want, and they delivered. Now, I will say this because I know that I was talking to a friend of mine and he had not watched the Predator franchise at all. So I thought that it would be helpful to give you guys a couple of the movies of the Predator franchise that maybe you might want to watch. If you remember them, it's okay. But if you've never watched Predator at all, this is what you want to kind of go through. So there are, I want to say, like 5 Predator movies. No, maybe 6 or so. I think there are like 7 actually. So the Predator movies you need to watch before you watch Predator, Killer of Killers, absolutely Predator number 1. Absolutely. With Arnold Schwarzenegger, Dutch, you need to get to the chopper. Okay? You got to watch that just so that you can be initiated into the fandom. Predator 2 with Danny Glover. The one reason I would say, I'm not going to say it's one of my favorites. It's okay. The one reason I would say it's worth watching is because towards the end, the way that they throw that certain Easter egg in there, in my opinion, it was one of the few times in movies at that time that was kind of like, oh my God, y'all can do that? You can do that with this movie and do like that little Easter egg. You know what I'm talking about when he went down into the ship. That Easter egg alone, I remember it blew fans' minds away back in the day. So if you're new to the franchise, it would be something that you'll want to check out. Then, even though it's not the best of films, just so that you're familiar, Alien versus Predator. I don't even know if it's like canon per se, but it's not a bad thing to go ahead and just watch Alien versus Predator. I would probably say you can skip Alien versus Predator Part 2. I don't think it's all that important to watch. Feel free to skip it. Predators with Adrian Brody, I would suggest watching that. I think that gives you a good backdrop for what you can expect in this movie. And I think it does a good job with adding to the lore of Predator franchise. The next movie called The Predator, directed by Shane Black, skip that. It's trash. It is absolutely terrible. Do not even bother. Don't even look it up. If you accidentally watch it, I'm sorry. Just no. And then last but not least, you've got to watch Prey. Came out on Hulu. It was, I think, a great revitalization of the Predator franchise. It saved it in some regards. Absolute must watch. And I think that would help a lot before you go watch Predator Killer of Killers. But anyway, you guys let me know, what do you think about Predator Killer of Killers? Have you seen it? If you have seen it, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Or if you haven't seen it and you will see it, come on back to this video and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.